Hey, what is going on, guys? RvzStealth here, and in today's video, we're going to be doing a little breakdown on a game that I played yesterday. Now, this just isn't any ordinary game. This game, I was actually laning against Gbay. Now, when I noticed I was laning against Gbay here in this game, I got like super nervous, and I thought that I was just gonna feed and his Irelia would just end up carrying the game. But as you'll see a little later on here, it didn't really go that way, and I was actually able to do all right. But I'm going to be talking about like what went right in this game, what went wrong, and like why Cassiopeia, in my opinion right now, is like one of the strongest, if not the strongest picks for top lane if you know what you're doing on the champion. And one last thing actually, guys, if you aren't subscribed to Gbay already, then I will link his channel down in the description below. I've been subscribed to him for at least like a good 1 or 2 years now. I think I started watching him like when I started playing League, so maybe even longer than 2 years. He's a great YouTuber. You should definitely check out his content if you're not already subscribed to him. Alright, so as you guys would have seen at the start of the gameplay there, Gbay and the Evelynn actually ended up invading on us, and they got first blood on the Graves. I did not expect that to happen at all. That rarely ever happens. It's probably never happened to me when I've been playing top lane in the past like month or two. I can't even remember back to when that's happened. So in that situation, I guess I could have warded, but I just really didn't expect it. And right here, this Evelynn comes back for me again, which again, I did not expect this at all. This Evelynn had a really weird playstyle, because what I would have expected is for the Evelynn to go over and grab her blue buff, but she ended up just getting red and going top lane. So I guess her main goal in this game was to try to shut me down and try to get Gbay fed, and you'll see that the Evelynn does end up camping me quite a bit. In this matchup though, I want to talk a little bit about this matchup. Cassiopeia can win it, but she can also lose it pretty easily as well if she doesn't play it correctly. When you are going up against these champions as Cassio, like Irelia, Riven, Yasuo, you really need to work around your W, because if you don't, then you're going to lose these matchups really hard. So if you don't know already, guys, with Cassiopeia's W, nobody can, you can't dash, you can't flash, you can't blink when the enemies are caught in your W. So this is really good if you're playing against Irelia and she dashes in for a low health minion. You can plant your W down, and then she can't end up dashing to you right away after until she moves out of the W. Now, when your W is on cooldown, you do have to play a little bit more passive, because if the Irelia jumps on you, for example, and you don't hit your Q, then she's going to win that trade really easily. So you just kind of want to make sure that once she goes in for CS, that like you use your W, get a little bit of poke off on her, and then you back out and just win the trade. You don't want to get behind as Cassiopeia in the early game, because number one, she is a tier stacking champion, and number two, she already does scale pretty well into the mid to late game, so you don't need to do really well in the early game to do well on Cassiopeia. Okay, so moving forward a little bit here, guys, we're just going to skip forward a bit to where some action starts to happen. In the laning phase right now, I'm not really doing too well at all, but this is where Gbay does make a mistake, which ends up bringing me back into this game. He's zoning me really well from CS right now, because I know that if he tries to jump on me and I don't play it perfectly, he's going to kill me. But the mistake he makes here is he jumps on me when there's a huge minion wave crashing in. Look at all my minions right there. He's taking so much damage from my minions, and if my minions weren't doing damage to him, I don't think I would have picked up that kill. I also did land both of my Qs on him there, which was really crucial in picking up that kill. If I didn't land both of my Qs, I wouldn't have dealt any damage to him, so that was another reason why I did get that kill there. I think in this situation, like, I was already behind a lot in CS. I only have 23 CS right now, so if he were to just keep playing it pretty safe until he did hit level 6, I think he probably would have won this matchup, but I ended up getting the kill there, and now this is where the matchup starts to swing a little bit.
Oh my god, I got so greedy, Fuck me! How does her ghost come up so quickly? I haven't played a champion that uses ghost in so long, so I have no idea what the cooldown is on that summoner spell. But fuck, I was dominating her in the lane. We had double her CS and everything. And then we just give her a kill for no reason. Nice start to the day. Some good old Gbay plays. I think this accurately answers the question earlier of whether or not I'm a boosted animal.
Coming up here now is going to be an example of me using my W just to zone him a little bit from me and not allow him to try to jump on me. So there's some low health minions here. I throw my W down and I know that if he jumps down on those minions, he's not going to be able to dash to me after. So I get a nice little trade-off right there on him. I get him down to around half HP and he makes another mistake here. He tries to go for an all-in on me. Obviously, he didn't have it warded, so he didn't see the RE coming, and then I just pick up another, pretty much a free kill on him there. I'm not too sure why he dashed in on me, because I do have my ultimate, and once you do have your ultimate like up as Cassiopeia, then you can outduel an Irelia pretty easily, unless she does play it perfectly. This is where the game starts to snowball out of control here. So I get this top lane tower and Evelyn makes a big mistake of trying to duel me with my ultimate up. Like I said earlier, if you have your ultimate up as Cassiopeia, then you can outduel pretty much any other champion unless they do play it really perfectly. And when you're playing Cassiopeia, if you do get ahead in the early game, and like right now I'm 4-1, I've got my Rylai's finished, I almost have my Morello's finished. You can just deal so much damage with those two items that as long as you know how to position in teamfights, you can hard carry games really easily with Cassiopeia. I also really like the fact that she isn't a top lane champion that you see a whole lot of, so I end up getting first bloods a lot of the time on the champion, or like as you could have seen in this gameplay here, or as you guys saw in the gameplay, Gbay just did not respect my damage, or he didn't expect the damage that I was going to do, which is why I was able to pick up that first kill on him. Now, it was a really close trade. I could have ended up dying, but I did still end up getting the kill, which pretty much ended up snowballing the game. This is where the first team fight does start, and one thing I want to point out is that never fight a Cassiopeia, or just try to never fight a Cassiopeia in the jungle or in close corridors. The reason being is because Cassiopeia's W is really strong in the jungle, because there's not as much space like in the jungle as there is in like mid lane or top lane or in a lane, so it just allows her to zone really well. I do end up going down here, but I end up picking up 2 kills for my team, and it is a 1 trade. I think if I would have played that a little bit better there on the Jhin, I think I missed a Q like on the Karma, so I couldn't kill her as fast. If I wouldn't have messed that up, then I probably would have lived there, but nevertheless, it still was a pretty good trade for our team, and we did come out on top. At this point in the game now, I feel like Gbay is a little bit tilted here because he ends up dashing in when his team's not even with him, and he just ends up going down here pretty much for no reason. I feel like if he just would have grouped with his team, then they could have had a pretty good shot, but he was just kind of playing too aggressive and he was just out of position. We end up killing him, we kill the Karma too, and right here, I know that I can go aggressive on this Jhin, but the Evelyn does show up, so I do have to back out. I burn my flash here because I don't want to get killed by Jhin. Now, I'm pretty low at this point, but I know that my W is up, so I can just zone with that. I'm not really too worried about anybody jumping on me there, and we do end up picking up the ace.
Oh shit. Fuck! Okay, why are we not grouped here? I know it's a stupid thing to just go and die and then say, why was my team not there? But like, why was my team not there? Oh my god, no one's gonna die! There we go, you got someone. Good job. Oh, and Cassiopeia wants to die too, but she's not going to. Fuck! How are we throwing this so hard?
So like I touched on earlier, Cassiopeia is a monster at fighting in the jungle. Just look at my W placement there. The enemies can't move. They can't move through it because it just takes up the whole jungle. The Kennen tried to go in there, but Cassiopeia is a great counter to Kennen because if he tries to E in and protobelt in, Cassiopeia just throws her ultimate down, and that's what I did there. We were able to clean up the Kennen, and we won that fight pretty easily there because they just fought us in the jungle. I got a big chunk out of Kennen, and then my team was just able to finish them off after that. So we did end up getting the inhibitor off of that last fight, but once again here, they fight us in our jungle, and just look at all of the AoE damage that I'm able to get off here in this fight. I throw down my ultimate when the Kennen does try to engage, and then I also toss down my W, and once my W was down there, the Irelia couldn't jump around and she couldn't like dive on anything, and I was just able to stay nice and safe in the back. Now I make a little bit of a mistake there by going back in, and the Irelia does punish me for doing that. I think Gbay did end up getting a double kill in that fight, so he did play that pretty well. He got the best out of like a lost fight for his team, I guess, but we are still pretty ahead right now, and we just need to group up to end the game. So right here, I do see Gbay bot lane, so I ping on Baron for us to take it. I'm not sure if he's got TP or not here. He does end up having TP, and he TPs in, but keep in mind, when you're playing Cassiopeia, you can take Baron extremely fast and Dragon extremely fast. So if you do see the enemies caught out of position, like in that case, Gbay was bot lane, so I decided to ping on Baron. We can take it down really fast, and they weren't even able to contest. Now the Kennen tries to go for an engage here, but I just ult him. He can't do anything, and we just end up cleaning up this fight from here on out. So overall, guys, if I were to give like a quick recap of this game and how we were able to win it, I think that in the laning phase, if Gbay just played a little bit more passive, waited till he got level 6, and just continued to zone me from CS, I feel like we probably would have lost this game, or I definitely would have had, I wouldn't have had as good of an impact in the game as I did. If he just played passive, hit his level 6, and then tried to engage on me, I think this game could have been a lot different, and he could have ended up solo carrying it on Irelia. But that is going to be the end of the game here, guys. I think our team comp also did do a really good job at countering their comp, because they did have a Kennen, also an Evelynn, so they don't really have a way of getting on our back line unless they do flank. If they come straight at us, then I just throw my ultimate down, I throw my W down, and they can't really do anything after that. So our comp definitely did do a pretty good job at countering theirs. So that is going to be all for the video, guys. If you did enjoy, then be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you guys have not already. Also, check out Gbay's channel as well if you have not yet already. So thanks for watching, guys. Have an awesome day, and I will see you in my next video.